What is happening, everyone? Cockney Red 99 here. Welcome back to the Crafty Couple. And this weekend, we have got a big, massive fixture coming up against Liverpool, and a massive weekend, massive round, fourth round of fixtures in the cup. I'm joined today by Adam. How you getting on, mate? You're flat out doing shows left, right, and centre tonight. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to another big one, to be honest, and hopefully rubbing more salt in the wounds of the Mickey Mouses, mate. That's what I think we all want this weekend, and I think we're going to do it, mate. I think we really are, because as I said, we've had turmoil times under Ole, but I think Liverpool are just taking their turn right now under Klopp, and I just had Stro on with me on my channel talking then a minute ago, and you can hear the worry in Stroll's voice about what's going on. It goes deep at that club as well. So yeah, it's good to know we're not the only ones, mate, who've got issues all over the club. So yeah, bring on the weekend, and like I said, it's Liverpool United. It's the FA Cup. We all know what this means to Ole. Remember that '99 season, mate, and that goal at Old Trafford that.
I wasn't born just yet, but I don't remember it. But yeah,
you young pup, mate. You've no idea, you young pup.
I was born that July, so I did sadly miss that season. But I mean,
mate, you missed a few epic ones.
I did miss a few epic ones, but my dad was there. But my dad was there for me, and he's told me all about them, and they do sound. And hopefully I can get to relive some good seasons that I did in my childhood in my 20s. And we have a massive weekend of fixtures are coming up, though. Not just Liverpool United. The game that's going on now, Chorley versus Wolves. Nice to see a non-league side get to the fourth rounds. They beat like a sort of a derby under-23s team, really, because they were all struck down with Corona. Did you see the pitch today on Instagram? The Chorley pitch.
They were talking about it. I heard them talking about the changing rooms as well. Wolves actually sent some of their people down earlier on in the week to check out the facilities and the situation. And Wolves are taking their own heaters to the changing room. That's how bad the conditions will be. Oh, well, not bad for us, mate, but for the high end of the Premier League sort of players, I think there's a few worried about little muscle injuries going on there, and freezing cold changing room, not being able to warm up properly. So yeah, I think they're fearing it. They've already sent preparation down there, but it's one of them, innit, mate? Can Traore get his 2 second flat 100-meter sprint on the pitch like that? We will see.
I don't know, mate. It looked cut to bits. It just looked like proper boggy park, like when you were playing Sunday League as a kid. The ball bounces, you get splashed with muddy water, that sort of a vibe. But
mate, I cover a lot of Bolton area of work, heading up the M61 towards Preston sort of area, mate. It's not stopped raining for about 10 days. It is horrendous. It absolutely everywhere is flooded, mate. If that pitch isn't cutting up and doesn't look like a bog, then I'd be amazed, mate. I've not seen it, but from what you're saying, it's exactly how I would expect it to have been for someone of Charlie's size and the weather that's been going on at the moment, mate. My God, Wolves are in for it. I'm telling you, shock to the system.
Yeah, it has got the potential for a cup upset. I was looking into the game, and in the 86-87 FA Cup, Chorley did actually not beat Wolves 3-0 in the first rounds. It's a bit of a random one, I know, but it came up when I was looking up.
What league were they in? No, were Wolves in a lower league as well at that time?
Wolves were in Division 1 at the time, I think. I can't remember what division Chorley were in, but it was I think they were still non-league at the time, so it was a massive scalp, and they beat Wolves 3-0. So, maybe it's an omen. Who knows? I highly doubt it will be as one-sided as that, but. You never know. Hopefully there is a bit of an interest. It's a bit interesting, but I've just checked my phone now. It's already 1-0 to Wolves. So it seems like the magic of the cup won't be happening in Chorley tonight. No. But we look at the next game, which is on Saturday as well, and that is Southampton Arsenal. It's 9th versus 10th. quite a tight game. Danny Ings as well, rumoured to be leaving in the summer. And Arsenal need a cup run, especially the way their season's gone. They brought in the statistically worst goalkeeper in the Premier League who can't get a game for Brighton. They brought him in as their number 2. They're looking to bring in Odegaard as well. And I think they're dying for a cup run here, aren't they, Ed?
Yeah, mate. I think Arsenal have got the voodoo on Southampton. I don't think Southampton have won in the last 9 games against them. We all know what Arsenal's record in the FA Cup is like. I think, 4 times in the last 7 seasons they've won it. So it has been their get out of jail card, hasn't it, in recent times?
Save Wenger,
Arsenal's. Yeah. Save Wenger. It catapulted Arteta to a level where the Arsenal fans thought he was the next best thing, but still, he just looks now like he's got rid of Ozil. He's got rid of the other defender as well. He's terminated his contract, Socrates. So I think he's trying to get rid of the trouble causers, very similar to what Ollie did, so he can control the dressing room a bit better. But interesting, you should mention Danny Ings as well there. I mean, I think the guy just wants to be in the Champions League, doesn't he? And is that going to upset the rest of Southampton's season? Because let's be honest, Hasenhüttl's pulled out miracles, hasn't he, with that team and the way he's got playing. So I'm hoping that Southampton can just knock them out of their stride, because we've got them next week as well. And the problem is, I just don't see it, mate. I just see Arsenal's record in the cup. Are Southampton going to take it serious? It's one of them, mate. I think it's got an Arsenal win rate all over it, this one.
Yeah, Arsenal win. I'm thinking in a sort of similar vein, but I'm thinking it's going to be it's going to be quite a tight one. I feel like Arsenal are going to eke it out. It's going to have to be an extra time sort of a job for them to get the result. A lot of other games on this week. Obviously, 16 games on this weekend, so jam-packed full of FA Cup action. Sheffield United is a game I want to look at. It's 3:00 tomorrow against Plymouth, and they're having a torrid season. Obviously, only 1 win in the league. Got a win against Bristol Rovers in the last round. It's a huge chance for them to just sort of build a bit of morale around the club. I mean, they must be sort of, their confidence just must be down. I mean, they go to Plymouth. I think they're League One, and it's a massive chance to get into the 5th round of the cup. So, I mean, I hope that they can do it. Do you think, I'm assuming you're in the same boat as me. Are you thinking they'll do it?
I do, mate. I think you mentioned it there, mate. We all know, and I think deep down they know that they're going down. So the last thing you want to do is go down with 0 momentum for the next season, because I do think they'll keep the manager in place. I think Wilder will still be there next season. He's probably the perfect man to bring them back up. And what you want to do right now is you're accepting that no Premier League team in history has ever come back from a start like this. The omens are already there. I think it's set in stone that they are going back down to the Championship. So, like you said, just go down fighting. Show that you've actually got something and give yourself a little bit of confidence going into the new season back down in the Championship, so give you something to fight for and a bit of a boost for coming back up the next season, because you don't want to be going down on a whimper, and that just mood that just travels into next season as well. So I think it's definitely the right thing to do is go all out in the cup and just go all out in everything they possibly can now, because I think they're done for and they know it. So let's just give the fans a little bit of something back. Good cup run can go work wonders, mate. We just talked about Arsenal then and how dire their team has been in terms of expectation level. But that cup, just give them that little bit of something just to cling on to. So a good cup run, definitely agree with that, mate. I think Sheffield United will go out strong and get through to the next round.
Yeah, and that could be beneficial to us as well if they go all out. If they do go gung-ho in this game, and hopefully they're a bit tired for us midweek, and we can take advantage of that. And then we move on to the jammiest bastards in terms of cup competition that there ever has been. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. They got Cheltenham, and then in the next round they will face the winners of Swansea or Nottingham Forest. I mean, and look, I've looked at their opponents over the last few years. I mean, they've been very successful in the domestic cup, and you can only beat what's in front of you. But before the semi-final stage, I don't think they hardly ever play a Premier League team.
They don't, mate. They seem to get this draw every time. You're dead right, mate. But No De Bruyne for 6 weeks, mate. Hamstring injury. So, I mean, this is big week for them because they've got Arsenal coming up pretty soon as well. They've got Liverpool coming up pretty soon as well. So, I don't think De Bruyne is going to be back for that. I still think they've got more than enough for bleeding Cheltenham. Don't get me wrong; it's a no-brainer who's going to win the game. But you've got to say the look of the draw is definitely on their side. The fact that we've got Liverpool, then probably West Ham, and they've got Swansea or Nottingham Forest after beating Cheltenham says it all, doesn't it? Then you're pretty much into the quarterfinals without even breaking a sweat, aren't you? And then they're looking for another trophy, another trip to Wembley. So, yeah, I can't see anything but a City 5-6-0. I think even City's reserves are going to absolutely smash them to pieces. So, yeah, no issue with this result and what it's going to be, mate. It's going to be a whitewash.
I mean, also, do you know what the thing is as well? I remember when, I think, didn't they beat Burton 9-0 or something in the League Cup in the first leg? And then Pep put out a full-strength team for that second. Well, not a full strength, but pretty strong. I mean, it's just a bit. And I feel like he'll probably do the same against Cheltenham. He wants to win these cups. It wouldn't surprise me if you see the likes of Sterling and Riyad Mahrez starting against it. But again, they have a very deep squad, so they're able to do that. So it's no issue to them. The game that precedes Chelsea as well got Luton. I don't even want to talk about them. It just annoys me.
Don't forget Bradford back in the day against Chelsea. Yeah. You never know. They had a strong team out that day, Chelsea. So you just never know, mate, with Chelsea.
You do never know. And I do love the Luton striker, James Collins, Irish lad as well. Good lad. I don't know how he doesn't get into our squad when we can only score one goal in a calendar year. But hopefully he pulls off some magic at Stamford Bridge. And I mean, Fat Frank would be seriously sweating there, then wouldn't he, the poor fella?
Oh, dearie me. Yeah, I mean, if this goes wrong this weekend, I think you can pretty much sign his name on the coffin, mate. He's done. He is finito because, I can't see him doing anything in the Champions League. They're struggling now, fighting for top 4 again. I know there's not much of a gap at all within the top 10 in terms of top 10 teams. Nothing like we've ever seen before, but still the teams in front of them are looking at it the same way. And I just think they've got too many decent teams in front of them at the moment. Are their heads on this? You would say this is probably Timo Werner's and Kai Havertz sort of level. So they may turn up, mate, tomorrow. You never know.
Poor old Timo, man. I mean, I bet the poor fella wishes he stayed in Leipzig. He's just not having the time of it. Timo and Kai, they're probably eating currywurst for themselves at their home in West London, but it's
Fernando
not working out.
Torres Mark II. Exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people have said that, and it just doesn't seem to be working out for the poor lad.
Dare I say it, Shevchenko as well, mate. Something with that Chelsea striker situation, isn't there?
Well, there's talk of Shevchenko coming in to replace him. He's currently Bookie's favourite to come in and replace Frank Lampard.
I would be amazed if someone like Allegri didn't get that job.
Tim says you're throwing shade at Chelsea. It's
I'm burying him, mate. I'm not just throwing. I'm burying him.
Absolutely burying him.
It takes time for players to gel, and this is why. You know, when United used to do summers like Chelsea did, and they brought loads of players in one go, it never worked. Fergie's best seasons were when he had a window where he had 1 or 2 key players come in and integrated them in. When there's so many, it's just too much to do. It's too much to do, and I think Lampard is struggling dealing with the price tags and the amount of money they've spent and trying to get. Well, none of them were really superstars that came in. A lot of potential.
Havertz and Werner, you could, in terms of in Germany,
they're still young and they've had good seasons, but they're not ready-mades, are they? Look at the one that they did bring in Silva at the back. He's the only signing that's proved to be decent for him.
Here we are.
So what?
Yeah. So what? Bits and bobs. He's arrived.
Yeah, guys. Sorry I'm late. Yeah. So it's your boy.
Just had to do a brew for the missus to get in another stream, didn't you, mate? That's what it was.
Let's literally do them back to back, mate. Literally doing back to back. So you already know the trouble I'm in after this.
I know, mate. I'm doing back to back to back.
Carry on. Exactly. You and mate, I've watched you, obviously from Adam's channel, and I love your aura and everything about you. I love that you like to bevy as well. So listen, when it's safe,
it's called the Crafty Couple. We like to have a couple of beverages, and we like to give it large. As Tim says, yeah. I mean, I am definitely large in the zebra shirt. Another game I want to have a look at before we get into the main event is Brentford-Leicester. It's on before us.
One of the best games this weekend.
I think that's going to be one of the most exciting games of the weekend, to be honest. You've got Brentford chasing promotion. They're flying it in the Championship. Ivan Toney, joint top scorer in the league there with 16. They have lost Ben Rama and Watkins, but they're still going for it this year. And Leicester, obviously, flying, third in the league, a couple of points off us. And I think that's going to be a great game to football.
You've got it there. There's the Australian Scotsman. He's absolutely smashing it, isn't he? That's what he's doing, the lad. But you said it there. I think it all comes down to how serious Rodgers takes this in his team selection, because we know Leicester are playing decent football at the moment. Brentford, the same at their level. I think Brentford will probably play a stronger team for what they've got available than Leicester will. I think that's going to be key. Or does Rodgers go all out and just say, look, you know what? I think this team deserves a cup run as well. So it's going to be interesting. It all comes down to selection from Leicester's part for me, that one.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I think, Adam, you're right. But as a part of me, I've watched Brendan, obviously, with the Celtic being up in Scotland. So, I think it makes sense. I think it'll be a bit foolish if Brendan plays a weak team. And hear me out, because he's got to where he is in the league at the moment, but we've seen Leicester get to this good position and they bottled it. They basically handed us third, right? And I think now, I'd like to think Brenda's learned his lesson, because he's in a good position now where he's in the conversation. Cool. However, Leicester, the league title they won, he didn't win it. Okay, they're playing better football now, but he didn't win anything. He hasn't won anything with them. And you don't get a medal for coming third or fourth. So he needs to actually cement his own legacy. And I think he should play a better, stronger team in this cup game, because it's a one-off game. There's no replays. And to be honest, they should tuck Brentford away. They should. Do you know what I mean?
Play to their potential and play this team that you're seeing there, mate. I think they'll have way too much for them. Exactly. I think it's like even the fringe players like Albrighton are playing well right now. So you would say he would normally be the sort of reserve player to come in. It's when you start taking the Vardys and Madisons and Tillemans out, then you start to look at it.
This weekend. Yeah, I heard it.
That mean who've they got? So we got Iose Perez. Is Iheanacho still there?
Iose Perez, Iheanacho is still there. Vardy's having a hernia operation. I heard on TalkSport today.
Really?
So I heard. Yeah, well, it said on TalkSport he's having a hernia operation. Unless someone, they're a bit of
a... Jamie Vardy?
Whoa. I mean, how many other fucking Vardys do you know, man? It's not a very popular name.
That's a massive blow to how they play.
It is,
that's a massive blow how they play.
Yeah, Vardy is the first line of defence as well as the lethal striker he is. Exactly. And we've seen what Cavani brings with his movement and his pressing in the front. Vardy is just like a faster version in terms of how he presses. You never say die, horrible little weasel.
He's smokes as well. I found that.
I wasn't surprised, mate. Seriously,
it was a quote that said that he still smokes and he drinks 3 cans of Red Bull a day or something. And
it wouldn't surprise me if he has a pint after the game. It wouldn't surprise me, mate. Vardy, he's just living his non-league dream, innit? That's what he's doing. But yeah, Iheanacho, he's got nothing on him. That's when you start to find holes in Leicester.
Exactly.
And I think if he is out, it's probably almost as important as Kevin De Bruyne being out for 6 weeks for City. So, yeah, big loss if he is, but I don't know. We'll see.
If he's having a hernia operation, he's going to be out for at least 3 or 4 weeks, really, isn't he?
Yeah, a month.
There's a recovery,
easy
yeah.
a
So
month. Easy
Yeah.
a month. And the funny thing is, right, is it seems that these big teams, KDB's out, Vardy's out, right? They're going to miss a lot of football. Hopefully, a lot of Premier League football. And I dare say there could be no better time to steer to get a league win. And I know we're talking about FA Cup, but I never knew that about Vardy. Do you know what I mean? And, you heard Maddison giving it the we'll worry about ourselves, don't worry about we've not got blah blah blah. Shut up, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're like 2 injuries away from your team capitulating. Your main striker's out. Inacho, I love him. He's Nigerian, my origin, but he's not Jamie Vardy. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully it takes about 3 months to get back. That'll make me happy.
Yeah.
We don't wish injury upon any player.
No, we don't. But he's not a spring chicken, so you want him to come back full of health. So the rehab, let him take his time with it. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. I personally think Leicester will pull up. Brentford, are going to pull off a bit of a shock here and get the result against Leicester. I think they will. I think Brentford. You've seen that they went to the League Cup semi-final, and I think they're an exciting side, and I honestly can't wait to see him back. To see him in the Premier League. They obviously got that new stadium as well, and I think they're a great side. And I'm excited to see them in the away end, hopefully next season. Ads, do you think Leicester will do it or Brentford?
I'm going to go Leicester, mate. I just think that they're just on a roll at the moment. I think they're going to carry it on. I feel like Leicester will come unstuck a bit later when it really matters. Like Bit said there, it's when they get to the nitty-gritty stage of seasons, Leicester start to capitulate, and that's still to come. At the moment, it's prime time Leicester time, isn't it? They love it around this time, scaring everyone up until, like I said, it gets serious. But I do think that they will beat Brentford.
All right, Bits, mate. Who you go? Are you going for Leicester as well?
Yeah. I think I didn't meant to say yeah like that, but yeah. I think Leicester. I mean, don't get me wrong though. I put a bet on Brentford to win. See what the odds are, but my head's saying Leicester definitely. Head's definitely saying Leicester.
Head's saying Leicester. Enough about that. It's the main one of the weekend now. The reason that we're all on this, the reason that we're all excited. We've got Liverpool at Old Trafford in the Cup. Didn't manage to do them at Anfield, but I'm hoping we absolutely turn these lot over at Old Trafford. They got beaten by Burnley last night. Hopefully now Marcus Rashford makes mincemeat of Trent Alexander-Arnold and we have an absolute glistening FA Cup win. Bits and bobs, mate, I'm coming to you first. What are you thinking, mate? Are you thinking we're going to do Liverpool this weekend?
So you and mate, right? I thought about this, right? Really long and hard because...
It's Owen, mate, by the way. That's an Irish spelling.
Is it? Oh, beg your pardon. See, I've typed it in and I thought... But anyway, you've convinced me, so it's Owen, so I do beg your pardon.
It's all right, I'm used to it. Everyone that's ever been on Adam's channel has called me Ewan at some point.
No, do you know what? It's bad. It's bad because I with my name, right, I always say to people, I always correct people, so thank you for correcting me. Every day is a learning day, so 100% for that. For me, we should smash them, right? And I was quite confident when we played them last week and it was a boring draw. However, this game's going to be completely... Try to your continue. This game's going to be completely different because Liverpool have just lost the game, right? So they're battered, their ego's hurt. We, I dare say, can probably afford to lose this game. And hear me out when I say this. I don't want us to lose, right? 100%. But what I'm saying is that, like, Jurgen Klopp has showed no interest in this cup prior to this. So I'm expecting them to play a weak side anyway. And I believe our B side will beat their B side, so we should win. I hope he plays Jermaine Pennant at right back, so Martial and Rashford can actually rip him to shreds. Seriously, because
do you know what? I've not heard that one. I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. I don't want to swear in your thing, but sorry. But
mate, swear away. Have you ever heard me on things?
Yeah.
Swear away.
Yeah, mate. You're talking to Owen here now, mate. He's worse than Paul.
It depends. If I've had a couple of beers, I can sense. If I've not had a couple of beers, I can censor myself. But otherwise, nah.
He is rubbish. Like, on the last few outings he's played, he's been horrible. And I hope they play him. Personally, I hope they play him. And just let Rashford run at him. In fact, not even Rashford. Daniel James would spin this guy like a Beyblade. Trust me. In fact, it's not even Daniel James. It's Daniel James. That's his name from now on. Seriously. I think we should win.
You try to say that down in Cardiff, mate, and see how that goes.
I'm confident we should beat them. I'm confident we beat them, if I'm honest.
Confident we beat him. And are we going to do the Scousers?
Hey, I just had Stroh on my channel, and he's petrified about what's going on at the club at the moment. Liverpool have got some in-house problems right now. He says that Klopp is playing these midfielders at the back as a point to the board to say, look, we need cover at the back here. He thinks that we may even see Milner at right back tomorrow.
Wow.
He thinks he's going to make that sort of statement. So if you've got Milner and a Rashford, then your mouth starts to water, doesn't it? If Rashford turns up, first of all, that is. But I just think that tomorrow, for United players, I don't think it's as important as it is for Ole. Ole knows what this is. Ole, obviously, as I just said before, and to Owen, you mate, when he made his mark really by scoring and starting us off in that 99 season by beating Liverpool at Old Trafford. Last minute winner. Same fixture comes round exactly again. I know the fans are not there. It's not going to be the same, but Ollie's going to be G'ing this team up. This is important. Does he want to lose momentum in what he's got? Or, like Bits said then, is it really as important to us as it is for Liverpool right now to actually get back on the horse again? Because 4 games in a row without a goal for Liverpool. Are they going to risk playing their players? Because all Liverpool fans are moaning about Klopp when he played Jota in the pointless game against Midtjylland and got injured. Are they scared that, because Liverpool's next 6 games, they've got Leicester, they've got Everton, they've got Tottenham, and they've got City in their next 6 league games. They have got a massive month ahead. And where are their heads at? Do you know what I mean? Where are their heads at right now? It's down to Klopp now. This is where this so-called man management style that Klopp has got that everyone raves about, we're going to see it right now because Liverpool need a reaction. And they're aging, aren't they? They've got big problems because all of their big guns are thinking, I've got one more move away. You know what I mean? 28, 30, Firmino, Salah and Mane. Are they thinking, I've won everything at Liverpool? You've got to think of the psyche. I don't think the heads are in it this season. I think they're thinking, I've got one more chance here to get my move, or am I going to be stuck here and this is my end, this is the career done? They've won everything already. So are they really interested in the FA Cup? I don't know. I really don't know. It's going to be an interesting lineup. I think that's what's going to make the game. Either a sort of stalemate sort of face-off like it was last weekend, or is it going to be one of them goal bonanzas end-to-end sort of games? I think if they do play sort of B-sides, like Rich said then, I think it probably bodes for a more exciting game. I think if all the big guns are out, I think defenders switch on a little bit more and it becomes the game that it was against them last Sunday. So I've said beforehand, I think it's going to be 1-0 United. I just feel like it's going to be that sort of game. But if Liverpool come out half-hearted in terms of starting lineup, then I think they're really there for the taking. I really do. I think they're vulnerable. I don't think anyone, like Rich said, in their reserve setup or second string has any fear factor whatsoever. Origi and Shaqiri, don't do it. I'm sorry, they're not what's already there right now. They're just not the same team. And I think if they do go out half-hearted and it's a second string, I think they're there for the taking, and I think there'll be a few more goals.
Second string, first team, it don't matter, as we're doing them. And I think 21 is coming, and I'm slightly thinking,
up, mate. Let's not talk about that yet.
The double might be coming as well. And Mate, if we win a double, I'm definitely diving headfirst into the locks at Deansgate.
Mate, I bet it's a bit deeper down Salford Quays, mate. I'll take you around there and get you in there. That's probably a bit safer.
I'm not going to Salford. No, but Deansgate, you can jump straight out and go into Revs. Handier. My thinking's already there. But who knows? Who knows? It could be happening. But lads, in terms of our starting 11 tomorrow, there is a lot of contention. You know, who comes in? Obviously, Ollie said in his press conference that Lindelof is back and likely to come back into the side. I mean, he did do quite well against Liverpool at Anfield. But Bailly has looked amazing over the last month or so. And I wouldn't take him out of the side for love nor money, really. And But in terms of your back five, who are you going for? First of all,
back five, I feel like I said, when Bailly's fit, you just play him because this guy can get injured walking down the street. So while you've got him, you play him because he is good. He is good. Everyone's excuse has always been with Bailly. Well, he can never stay fit. He can never stay. He's been fit for 3 months. People, come on.
Sorry to stop you there. Tim is going to top my canal by going over Niagara Falls in a barrel if we do the double. So that would be absolute siege. Sorry to interrupt you there, Raz, but that is
YouTube gold. That would be.
That would be class. Sorry, I was carrying with the back five.
Yeah. So where was I now? Bailly starts for me. He plays every single game. He looks like a guy who is just at prime in terms of fitness, raring to go. All his waiting time, his injury time that he's had off, I think he's just raring to play every single minute that he can. And you play him. When he's fit, you play him. And I said this before, there's camaraderie, there's link-ups, there's a lot of mental things go on a football pitch. And right now, we're not playing well. But Ollie nailed it the other day when he said we've mentally got stronger. Little things like by being on the pitch with Pogba, best mates, it brings something out of you. It gives you little bits of confidence. You've got to work on these little things here and there. And you know what? De Gea has all of a sudden got better. Do you know what I mean? Little things all the time. The fact that Henderson's come in has given him that kick up the arse. Maguire has looked at a better defender when Eric Bailly plays next to him, and their partnerships have been brilliant. I'm not slagging Lindelof off. It's just good to have options at the moment. But for the way he's played, I think Bailly starts, Maguire starts next to him. I don't know if you're going to rest Shaw because he's played 2 games in a week. But then again, I can't really say what I said against Bayer and Luke Shaw because we're worried about Shaw getting injured. So he plays because he's playing the best I've ever seen him in the United shirt right now. And then again, the right-hand side is a worry for me because the one weak link in our team at the moment is Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the back. Yeah. And that's the concern. I think his form is just drastically off, and he cost us badly against Fulham. And it could have been even worse. But for me, right back, there's not much competition there apart from Brandon Williams, is there now? So it's one of them. I'd still play Wan-Bissaka probably because I know when it's a big team, he usually switches on a bit more. So yeah, that's mine, mate. It's pretty much the same as it was.
Are you leaving De Gea in there, or are you going to bring Hendo in?
FA Cup for Henderson. I'm confident with either one, mate. I really am. Yeah. I haven't got an issue with either. If Henderson comes in, no problem at all for me. He brings different qualities I think that De Gea hasn't got in terms of commanding his box for crosses. I think he's better on the ball, but I can't really slag De Gea off because I think he's had probably his steadiest season so far in the last 3 years. Either one, mate.
Either one, 100%. Bits, mate. Who are you going for?
It's tough because I'm listening to Adam there, and I agree with you a lot. Actually, I do, especially on the Bailly thing. Yeah. Ollie's due to play Bailly in a big game, like against a big club. Yeah, exactly. And you know what you said about Pogba's there as best mates. And like, I played football, right, and you run. See, when your friends are on the pitch, when you're playing professional, when your friends are, you run more. You don't know you're doing it, but you want to fight for your friend, so you probably put in the extra effort. And also another thing, competition helps a lot, and I think that's why we've seen De Gea with the performances he's had. I think he'll play Dean Henderson because it's not a semi-final, so he'll probably just play Dean Henderson. And I think, see, I'm in two minds, right, guys, because 48 hours later, we play Sheffield United. Yes, they're at the bottom of the league, but it's us. So
they've only lost, I think 14 games or 14 or 15 games. They've only lost by 1 goal. Like, they haven't been like a terrible team. Like they weren't like, they're not like Derby County in terms of their performances. So they're not actually still a bad side. Like, no,
but that's it. They're not a bad side. That's what I'm saying. It's us as well. For some reason, we love to give people a head start. We love to give people a push to say, go and attack us. So, but regarding to the team, I think he should go with Bailly. He may go with, oh God, what's his name? Williams at right back. But I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because it is Liverpool. And obviously, Wan-Bissaka is a better defender. Bailly at the back, he's going to play Harry, obviously. I'd like to see Telles come in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, is that 4? That's the back 4? Yeah.
I'm going for Hendo. I'm going for Brandon at right back. I think Wan-Bissaka I think he needs a bit of a rest and needs to be taken out of the team. Bailly, Maguire, and I think Telles. I think Telles needs more regular game time. And I think, despite Shaw's recent form, I still think Telles will eventually be our first choice left back for the future. And then midfield 3, I've gone for Scotty McTominay, Paul Bill Pogba, and Bruno Fernandes. Ads, I'm going to come to you first because I know you need to jump off for 2. Who are you going for in your midfield?
Why does he keep freezing with them silly faces on me, man? Right. Owen, you frozen, mate. What we saying? Midfield?
Yeah. Midfield 3. Who are you going for?
Okay, midfield 3. We're going with a 3 in midfield then. I'm going to put...
I mean, you can fit whatever formation you fancy, mate. But
I'm going to put Matic in front of the defence. I'm going to put... let's see if we split it. Oh, do I go with...
You're not playing Adam.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
you're not putting yourself in there.
He's just put himself there.
I am. I'm in, mate. I'm in. I'm the holding midfielder. And then it's a choice, isn't it? I think it's a game for Donny van der Beek. I really do. I would leave Bruno out of this one for later on, so I'd play Pogba in there as well. I'd go Donny van der Beek and Pogba with Matic behind them, mate, as the holder. Because I think Donny can join in that holding role if we need. And we all seen Pogba's defensive qualities recently when he needs to be. When you're not restricting him to defending, he naturally wants to help, and he does defend better when he's not in that role. It's crazy. But I think that midfield 3, I think, will be more than enough for Liverpool's. And it's a good ball retention mid 3 as well, that one.
Yeah. Bits, mate, who you go for?
I'm going to go with Donny van der Beek, Dutch Milky Way Kid. And I'm going to go with the Scottish Yaya Toure, Scott McTominay, and I think Ads has got to have to get a game. So, I think they don't trouble us with that 3. And obviously, I think to be smart with the rotation, Scottish Yaya Toure, he'll be good. He'll run. He'll give Adam some legs, some manoeuvring, and then obviously the Dutch Milky Way Kid needs a game. Do you know what I mean? So,
fair enough. Yeah. Moving on then, I'd love to see him get a game, but I just don't think Ollie is going to drop Bruno.
You're probably right, mate. You're probably right.
Yeah. Then we look at our front 3. I think Martial, he's just not having it at the moment. I personally would drop him for this game. And I mean, I'm surprised at myself that I'm even going to say this, but I personally would start Dan James on the right, have Cavani in the middle, and Rashford on the left. Because I think I don't think Mason played well against Fulham. I think Dan James is probably our only natural right winger. He's got pace for days, and it's just I think it's something that a change and maybe a chance for him to prove his point. Ads, you looked shocked when I said that, so I'm assuming you're not in total agreement with me anyway.
No, I mean, there's our thoughts and then there's reality in it. I mean, you could easily see one matter in the team tomorrow. But
yeah,
I do feel like, you know what? I think he's going to give Martial another chance. I think he's going to put him in as number 9 and drop Cavani out. I think it'd be a bad decision, but Martial needs to get a grip. I got the usual Martial FC crew when I slugged him off the other day, but my standards were set last season for Martial. I'm not prepared to drop, and this happens to him every time he gets competition in that number 9 spot. When he's number 1 and he's the main man, he's brilliant. But Zlatan, Lukaku, Cavani, it's no coincidence he just falls off every single time he gets competition. He doesn't want to fight for his place, in my opinion. 2 Premier League goals this season. Oh, God, not good enough. But I think Ollie's going to stick by him. I think he's going to get the role. I just got a feeling we're going to see. I agree. I think we might see Dan James. I do. But I think we'll see Martial and Rashford as well.
Oh, okay. Bits, mate, who are you going for as a front three?
Adam, you talk a lot of sense, to be honest. It's annoying, isn't it? Because it's a lot of you. It's like what
Usually
you want to happen. Yeah, it's like you.
He talks a lot of sense, but he does it for about 45 minutes.
It's because you
see his fan cams. They used to go on for half an hour. Jesus.
Everyone used to love me, mate. They just used to love me.
I'm freezing my bollocks off getting a chill off the canal. Would you be there? Oh.
I think what I'd like to see, I'd love to see a three of what's his name, Rashford, Daniel James, and Martial. And the reason I'm going to say Martial is because I want to keep Cavani for the Premier League games. I think we can bring him on half an hour, but he's not a spring chicken. So, there's no point playing him every game. However, on hindsight, on performance, you need to keep playing him because he's scoring. With Martial, right, Martial's been rubbish. And like Adam said, anytime there's a bit of a presence from a striker, he's just not interested. And for me, he's probably the last person in that squad I'd take to the trenches. So I'm just like, if you're not even willing to stand up for your own position, how are you going to be against the centre-backs? Do you know what I mean? And Fabinho will just bully him. But that being said, I'd probably still pick him anyway. To see if he can prove
He's
me
going to
wrong.
be shit, but yeah, fuck it. Put him in there. Just go for it, mate. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But he'll probably play, I think he'll probably play Mata, Martial, and Daniel James. That's what I think he'll play.
Martial and Daniel James. I don't think any of us would be surprised with whatever team comes out, as it is Cup Week and it always goes a bit mental. Ads, can I get a prediction from you? Are we going to get on course to the double, mate?
We are with a 1-0 win.
1-0. Bits, what are you saying, mate?
We're going to win. 3-1. They don't score. We score no G.
Right by when Rashford had Trent on toast. I'm gonna say 2-0. I think we're gonna do the Scousers, and I'm gonna be ringing my Scouse housemate, taking the piss out of him later on Sunday night. There are a few more games later on there's one later on in the evening. But the one I want to look at is on Tuesday. It's Mark Wright FC. Are they going to continue the cup run? Bournemouth away to Bournemouth. Is Mark Wright going to live the dream, Adam? We've got to ask the question. You just don't give a shit, really, do you?
No, not with Bournemouth, mate. No, it's I don't see any other shocks anywhere else in this whole round of fixtures, mate. I really don't. On that note, I don't.
Fair enough.
I don't, mate. I just don't. There's nothing that really stands out. We've been through the best games. I think they're the ones that are really intriguing. I still don't know. Is it still 1-0 to Wolves as well?
My phone has died, so I can't check that.
I'll tell you now. I'll tell you.
I've got a shoot off as well, lads, by the way. So more shows to do. Chaos.
Thanks for coming on, Ed.
Guys, it's on. Good chat.
Take care. Speak soon.
See you later, boys.
Yeah. What score was it? The Watford score you're looking for, Owen?
Oh no, the Wolves score. Wolves, surely.
Oh, they're winning 1-0, mate. They're winning 1-0.
Still 1-0. Spurs as well have got Wickham away, but I don't think that's going to cause any problems for Jose. You know, another Wickham are in the Championship now, but I don't think it will cause any problems. You got the same. I don't think it's on the same lines of that.
Akinfenwa plays for Wickham. So, and there's a player that Big Uche. He went from Hearts from Scotland to Wickham, and he's doing actually all right there. So it'll be good to see them. Hopefully, you know, from a personal point of view, it'll be good to see if they get minutes against Tottenham. We'll get a bit of change, but Tottenham should punish them, mate. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna do them 100%.
I mean, 100%. Wickham are far adrift at the bottom of the league. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday were deducted points, and they're still a good bit ahead of them now. And I'd say they're going straight back down to League One. I mean, I think that they got dodgily put into the playoffs. It was sort of like average points, and it was a very strange situation. As I always like to finish off on a podcast, I was talking to Bits about it in the week. A bit of a random question, but a bit of a maybe possibly wholesome, a bit reminiscent of our youth, as we are the crafty couple. Talk about the first night out, you know, the first big night out you had. You know, you're 16 or 17, you're possibly in possession of a cousin's ID or a lad in the year above. Someone's helping you out or something, and your big first night out. Bits, mate. What was your big first out night? Was it out in Glasgow town or?
It was actually in Edinburgh. A club called Massa Hip Hop Club. I was 17, and I didn't drink. I tasted my first bit of alcohol when I was 18. Didn't like it. Then when I stopped playing football, that's when I properly drank. Because I used to be full time. That's why I moved to Scotland. 17, cousin's passport looks absolutely nothing like me.
Cousin passport.
So it was like one of those ones where shirt, dress trousers, proper.
You got your nice black shoes on that you only wear to a wedding. Or your school shoes possibly that are just still sat in the cupboard.
Oh, like seriously, like, you know, and we in Edinburgh at the time you had to go in, like, if you went in a group, it was always going to be harder to get. So you went single file. So my cousin would be like, just act natural. I'm like, what do you mean act natural? So what I'd done was basically look at everything except the bouncer, which made me even more suspicious. Because the guy just had me standing there. He's like, you all right, mate? I was like, yeah. I'm all right. And he was like, have you got your ID with you, mate? I was like, my ID? And I was like, oh, fuck, I need to be in role play. Yeah. I've got my ID, mate. There you go. Took my passport. He literally just flipped it, right? And he was like, in you go. And I was just like, and I just stood there. And I went, is that it? I was like, is that it? And he was like, yeah, go on. Listen, mate. And then obviously I could drive at the time, so I had the car and stuff. And all my guys literally, mate, like walked in, and the biggest Green Street Royal Rumble fight you'll ever see in your life. Now I'm talking, this club was quite small, right? So it was literally every Tom, Dick and Mohammed and their flipping dog, right? Just fighting. And I'm just there like, are you effing joking me? Like, what the hell? And this is at the time, yeah, when a pint in that club, a pint was £1.50. And that's not even student prices. And I remember going into this club, mate, and thinking, yes, I got in. And then from nowhere, this big massive rumble. We had Asian dudes, we had black dudes, we had white dudes, everyone just all fighting amongst each other. And there's me cheesing the hell out of my face, thinking, hey! And then obviously, the lights went on, fire alarm went off, and then outside there's police vans and everything. I'm like, I am finished. Like, I've got football training next day. If I get caught, I'm done. So, mate, basically, went down a different way, kicked the fire exit door, and bolted for at least a mile. I just kept running and running and running. Then I thought to myself, I've got my car. I need to go all the way back down.
I mean, look, mate. At least you didn't have to do your warm up next day at training. You've done about 2 mile running. You've done about
yourself,
2.
Man? What about yourself?
Mine, my first proper night out was in Manchester. I was 16. I went up there for the Stone Roses. Me and 3 other very naive lads with fake IDs, and went after the first night out there. We went to a nightclub called The Venue. You know the scene we went out quite early. So we didn't really know sort of the club, sort of agenda, and we walked down a set of stairs into a nightclub, and it was just empty. It was 10:30. It was just not. It's that scene from In-Betweeners. We just walked in, opened, expecting this busting nightclub. There was not a sinner inside it. Not one person. Went up to the bar, got a drink. It's called Venue. It's still there. I mean, there was a football table in there. We started playing that for a bit, and then went to another nightclub and had a good weekend at the end of it. But that was how it started. We went sort of very in-betweener style, walked downstairs, and there was just a soulless dance floor. Not one other person in there. We were the first few in there because it was cheap. I think it was £2 entry or something before 11 o'clock.
Oh, brilliant.
And our 16-year-old mind was thinking that was a great deal. But yeah, we walked straight out of there about half an hour later and found another place that accepted my name was Sean O'Hara for the night. But look, everyone has their own funny stories of nights out, and that's just the way of the world, man. Everyone wants to get out when they're young and stay in when they're old.
100%. 100%. I'm married now. We've got a kid, and it's just like I couldn't think of anything worse right now to go out. Like me and my wife, we'd probably go out for a drink during the day, and then drink till like 8-9 o'clock. But right, come on, let's respect ourselves now. Let's go home. I'm only 31 though. Don't get me wrong. So I'm only 31.
I'm 21, so I'm still game for a mental
Oh, bro. Listen, go and enjoy life, man. Literally.
I can't, mate. I've got I've got fucking nowhere to go. I'm only drinking in the kitchen. It's a tough life to live. There's not a lot to. There's nothing we could do, and we'll all get through this terrible time, and we'll all be dancing our heads off to some mental drum and bass in a field in the not so distant future.
Hopefully. God willing, hopefully.
Hopefully, anyway, mate. That's the end of it now. Bits, if you want to give yourself a shout out for get the people where they can catch you saying yeah all the time.
So yeah, at Bits and Bobs _ on Twitter, at Bits and Bobs _ on Instagram. My YouTube channel is Bits and Bobs. You can catch me on the terrace, the football terrace. I'm a member there. And where else? Yeah, check me out. I do a show called The Wrap Up, and we discuss everything that's happened in the last 7 days. Anything from football to celebrities or anything. Cheers, mate. And on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I do a podcast where it's called Bits and Bobs Meets, where I have a special guest on. We talk about football, racism, discrimination, mental health, and all things relevant, and have unfiltered banter, mate. So please check me out. But listen, Owen, thank you for having me on. I need you to return the favour to come on my channel, please.
100%, mate.
And thank you for having me on, and thank you for not shouting at me for being late. So thank you, and thanks. And everyone watching, if you watch it back, make sure you subscribe, like, share the video, share it to your nan, gran, your mum, your dad's mistress, your mum's mister, everyone in the family. Make sure you share and tell them.
That's the way, mate. That's the way. Like, share, and subscribe, people. Thanks very much for coming on, Bits. Hopefully, this is the start of something beautiful between a Scotsman and an Irishman. That is just the way it is. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help the community grow.